I mean, no detail too small, no opportunity missed. It was such a delight to play the puppet master to all of your Pavlovian panic. and all that gore, the score, the lore, fake bodies. I mean, God, that shit was expensive. And no retakes. Nope. Only double takes. Oh, you should have seen your faces. Hook, line, and sinker for every little stinker.
Josh, why are you doing this?
Yeah, don't even ask this squirrely little runt. He's got no clue. He's out of his fucking tree. He's definitely off his meds. Oh, come on, you guys. Revenge is the best medicine. We're done. Mike, he's sick. What? Come on, you guys are all gonna thank me when you guys become internet sensations.
Wait, what?
Oh, you better believe this little puppy's going viral, ladies and germs. I mean, we got unrequited love. We got blood. I don't think there's enough hard drives in China to count all the views we're gonna get, you guys. What are you talking about, you asshat? Jessica's fucking dead. What? Did you hear me? Jessica is dead. And you were gonna fucking pay, dick!
Person saved. One person's out of the house. Did I just leave what? Me and her? Save Mike. Run to the switch. Save Mike. Oh no. Oh, come on, bring it back. Oh, bring it back. Bring it back. No, bring it back. Hide. Because if I run for the switch, I didn't say run for the switch. No, Mike. I hit the wrong button. No, Mike. No, Mike. I'm so sorry, Mike. I'm so sorry, Mike. I am so sorry. I'm so sorry, Mike. I am so sorry. I hit the wrong button, bro. I tried to hit the right trigger, but I hit the wrong one. I hit left. I'm so sorry, Mike. If I just would have hit, you would have got out, and we all would have got out. The two girls survived. Oh, man. Mike was burned up. Oh, this is not good.
Well, that definitely was one of the most unconventional intros to a 24K movie review. Hello, ladies and jelly spoons, children of all ages, boys and girls, and welcome to 24K movies, TV shows, and video game reviews. So, if you could not guess, we need to talk about Until Dawn, the movie. Alright, so as always, I am going to separate the gamer side of me versus the cinephile movie side of me, and we're going to be as objective as we possibly can. Now, as someone who has both watched the movie now and have played the game, I have words, maybe some critiques, maybe a little criticisms about it. Now, first of all, I understand that when you make an adaptation of a video game to a movie, it seems to be a very hard thing because I haven't seen, really, I can count on one hand, maybe 3 fingers, the studios that have gotten it correct. It's really simple. The game is popular. The story of the game is popular. You just take that and add it to the movie and film. Very simple chemistry, but it seems like no Hollywood studio, no studio on earth can get it right. So when I heard Until Dawn, now I timed my playing of Until Dawn, the remake, with coinciding the movie coming out. So it was fresh in my head. So when I had just beaten Until Dawn, the movie came out. So it was really fresh in my head. I don't know how many you played Until Dawn a long time ago and you don't quite remember and it's not so fresh in your head. That's probably a good idea when you go into this movie. Because, and spoilers, I want y'all guys to know, spoilers. If you don't want spoilers, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, you got to get out of here. You've been warned because spoilers are coming. First of all, let's take this from a casting standpoint, because in the game, Rami Malek, Hayden Panettiere, Brenda Song, there's just so many people acting-wise in the game that are great quality actors. I mean, great top-tier actors who all said in the game, if it ever became a movie, they wouldn't have had a problem starring in it and doing it over again. Unfortunately, that translated to the studio saying, nah, we're gonna go our own way with our own peoples, but we'll see what we could do for you guys on the back end. Here's the problem, because I finally got it, what they were going for, and the execution was horrible. See, I've been going about this movie as if it was an adaptation to the video game, and that's all wrong. What they were trying to do is initiate their own cinematic universe based off the game. So basically, Until Dawn, the movie we got, is supposed to be the prequel to the Until game we played. Get it? How it's so different but the same at the same time? They said, hey, let's lead into the game. But the prequel can't be popular because people don't know about the game. So you have to start with the game, lead into a sequel, and then make a prequel. That's what they've always done, right? They start with source material, move into the sequel, and then go back to the prequel and show you how it all started. But that's not what they did in this one. They was like, we're gonna call it Until Dawn. So we're gonna totally piss off everybody who's ever played the game, because they're gonna see what we're doing and they're gonna be like, that's not the game. That didn't happen in the game. That's not like the game. None of that is from the game. But if they just could have, I don't know, publicized that we were going for a prequel to that great game that you played. This is something new and it's a prequel. Call it Before Dawn. Get what I'm saying? Don't call it Until Dawn, because Until Dawn is a very popular game that a lot of people played. And lately, everybody's getting pissed off because you're taking our beautiful games with great stories and all you really have to do is tell them. That's all you have to do. Tell them in real life. But for some reason, I got an idea. I got a general idea. This is my thoughts, my remakes. This is my vision for this. No, it's not. What made it popular is the vision it sought out, created, and did. You want that same kind of response? Do the same thing the game did. It's very simple. You guys are not listening. Or maybe you don't care. Or maybe it's a combination of the two. So I'm going to break it down for you. The movie itself was not bad. I know you're going to hear a lot of people say they hated it. It absolutely sucked. And let me tell you something. Let me put my gamer hat on and step over to the gaming side. This was not Until Dawn. No way. Not Until Dawn. At all. Cinephile side of me. It's a pretty good horror movie. Pretty good horror movie. Nice killings. Nice premises. Nice monsters. Now let's put them two together. You wanted the intrigue from the game. You wanted the attention from the game. So you chose the Until Dawn subject matter. The way you executed, dog shit. You made it horrible. Because now instead of a pretty decent horror movie or a pretty decent video game adaptation, you now have tanked both by the way you executed the premise of getting it out to the public. And that is where you have your problem. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. You wanted to know? I'll tell you. Let me unpack this for you and put it on my back like a backpack. This is where you screwed up. Until Dawn. You marketed it as it was the game. That is your problem. You needed to get across to your gaming audience, the biggest people wanting to see this, that this was not the game they played, but a prequel into that game. It's very simple. Market it that way. You've played the game. Now see what spawned that story. The prequel. You don't even have to call it you can still call it Until Dawn, but call it like I don't know. Before Dawn. Like, there's something you could have done to let your patrons know that this wasn't Until Dawn. This was a prequel into Until Dawn. And there's subtle hints throughout the movie that they drop with a picture of Rami Malek on a file, who was Jason from that movie, from the video game. Then at the end, you see them pull up and you see the cabin and the snow and everything else, showing everything reset for this new take and this new place. Which I get. Don't get me wrong. I was 100%. I get you. But by that time, you've lost your patrons. Nobody's sticking around for that. Nobody is invested in that because nobody wanted to see the movie in which you clowned the subject material. You went about it wrong. Great idea, great premise, horrible execution, horrible interpretation, the way you got it off to your audience. And this is from a gamer, by a gamer, to you as a studio. You had one job. If you were going to tackle Until Dawn, you had a right to let your patrons know from the beginning, this is a prequel of how we got here. We started from the bottom, now we here. It's really simple. Dead by Daylight just recently released a game. That's the prequel to Dead by Daylight. They let people know this is how we got here. The prequel didn't go off very popular because most people didn't even know that it was a prequel. It had a different name. People's like, what the fuck is Frank? What is Frank? I don't know who the hell Frank is. I myself didn't either. But when I played the game, the greatest reveal was that this is how we got there. That's right. This is how we got there. I think it's like Frank Rising or Frank something. Give me a second. Let me figure out the name of it. Sorry, I had to jump back out for a quick second. The Casting of Frank Stone. Now, if you were making a movie, that's the title you would go with. The Casting of Frank Stone. But in very tiny letters at the bottom, it says, was not Until Dawn, Dead by Daylight. There you go. See, I'm confusing the same series altogether. So it says, had water go down the wrong pipe. The Casting of Frank Stone. And in tiny letters at the bottom, Dead by Daylight. The Dead by Daylight pulls in the gamers because they're like, I know what Dead by Daylight is. I played Dead by Daylight. This is awesome. If you did Until Dawn beginning, Until Dawn, you could have came up with any name in the world. You could have literally didn't have to use Until Dawn. What if you called it
I thought about
Before Dawn?
I thought about calling it the Hourglass because in the movie there's an hourglass and that just keeps spinning around and around.
So you could have said the Hourglass, Before Dawn, and then at the bottom in small letters, Until Dawn. It would have been received different and better and would have grossed a lot more. As it stands now, the only way people are going to get it and dig into it is by watching it, and unfortunately that is not going to help you in the box office. And that's the bad problem. When it came to the movie, objectively, I watched it all the way through. It's not a bad horror movie. There are elements of Until Dawn in it, but nobody knew it was a prequel. You didn't market it as a prequel. You didn't set it up in the press as a prequel. You gave no word of mouth as a prequel. You did nothing. You just basically stood on business, slashed out all the stars from the TV series, from the video game, slashed out all the plots and hashed out everything that was from the video game that made it so popular, and did your own thing. That is where we have the problem. The way it was marketed. And unfortunately, there's nothing you can do about that now. But I can shed some light on your movie, on your property, on your project. And I'll do that for you right now. Those of you who have not seen the movie, spoilers. It's about a bunch of people trapped in one place until dawn. Premise is simple. Execution is simple. Process simple. But you're going for the fans of a series that's very high. High in their minds, high in their thoughts, high in their playability factor. People are familiar with the Until Dawn storyline. If you want to market a movie towards them, let them know this is something they haven't seen before. This is a prequel. This is how we got there. The casting of Frank Stone. The game came out. Nobody knew what the hell it was. I can't tell you how many of my people, my gamers, that I'd be like, yo, did you play that prequel from Dead Before Daylight? What are you talking about, prequel? The casting of Frank Stone. Wait a minute, what? It's the prequel of how you ended up in Dead by Daylight. How you ended up with the whole tree that grab you and pull you up in the sky. And you in there. The casting of Frank Stone shows you how the world ended and how we got there. For real? Yeah. You know how many people I put on that game because they didn't know. Once again, marketed wrong. Beautiful property. Because I've played the casting of Frank Stone. Did all my peoples live? No. But then again, Until Dawn, you saw at the beginning of this video, I lost a lot of people. I only ended up with 3 people out of the whole group. I only ended up with 3 people living. And Mike, I'm sorry, Mike, bro. Mike, one love. Mike, peace. Mike, I hit the button. I don't know why it didn't go to hide. I don't know why it went run. I pressed the button, Mike, to hide. Hide, run. Hide, run. Run got you killed. I know it got you killed. I saw it got you killed. I'm sorry, Mike. Mike. I'm sorry, Mike. Look, you was that close to living. But I'm going to give you a little bit, Mike. I'm going to give you just a little bit. You may have burned up in that cabin. But Hayden Panettiere, she got bit by a Wendigo. She's changing. So even if you were to survive, the story wouldn't have been over. So at least for you, you got the peace and death that I could not give you in life. And the Wendigos didn't rip you apart. It was an explosion and flames took you out, Mike. You got a comfort in death, in peace, that I could not give you in life, because the way that I did it, she gonna change, and this story's gonna be big on a massive scale, because now you're not on a mountaintop, she in a city. So how many people she gonna bite and turn into Wendigos, and it's just gonna be bad. It's gonna be real bad. But Mike, you ain't have to live to see the end of the world, man, that I created. You ain't have to live that. I'm sorry, Mike. Sorry, bro. I know. Still not over it either, bruh. I'm sorry. Look, I'm not going to claim that I made the best choices in the game, but the game story was way better than the movie. You want to know why? Because it wasn't the movie that we were watching. It's a prequel. Until Dawn, the prequel, is the movie. Until Dawn, the game, is the sequel. And that's how they should have marketed it. And it would have been great. It would have went over so much better. Because now when people saw the game announced, they saw what it was about, they saw who was in it, they saw the story go down, they immediately were turned off by it because of how you portrayed Until Dawn, your movie. And that's where you lost 85% of your fan base before it even came out. Nobody even wanted to give it a try, including myself. Including myself. I was another one in the game that I read what your movie was about, and I was like, nah, man, 2 fingers to that. No, ain't watching it. I hate these adaptations screwing up my franchises. And then I had the ability to watch it because I wanted to compare it on my movie channel right here on 24K. I wanted to talk to the peoples about Until Dawn. About Until Dawn. And I watched it not from that gamer aspect of my mind, but from the cinephile. From the cinephile, we had a great time. It's a great horror movie. It's better than a lot of horror movies produced and made today. So then why didn't it succeed? Because your client base, 85% of your client base for Until Dawn were the gamers who played the game, watched the game, knew about the game. And they had literally imagined and waited for that story to come to actual physical movie cinemas. And this is what you were giving them, but you didn't tell them it was a prequel. And that was your mistake. That was a lost... It's sad because it was a missed opportunity on your part. But there is life after the movie theater. Of course, you ain't gonna get them big bucket movie theater sales. You ain't gonna get them big bucket movie reviews. You ain't gonna get Siskel and Ebert and all of them talking about your movie. You're not gonna get none of that. But you have the ability to become a cult classic amongst gamers, amongst people who like Until Dawn as a franchise. And I'm gonna help you on that aspect. This is why I'm here. I'm going to tell people that what you put out was the prequel to the video game we all played. I'm going to spread and smooth out those rough areas for the gamers who hate your movie. And I'm going to let them know, if you go into this, watching this as a prequel to the game, you're going to enjoy it a lot more. Oh yeah, there it is in a nutshell. So, I can't help you with your movie release. I can't help you with the bad press. But I can do damage control and help you on the back end become a cult classic amongst gamers. And gamers, if you're watching this and you guys do watch my 24Ks, I thank you. I love you. Thank you for being here. I love all of you. As a gamer, to my gaming audience, this is a prequel to the game you played. I guarantee if you watch this movie as a prequel to the game you played, you'll enjoy this entire experience. And not only enjoy it, you'll be happy with it. And that's the sad part. We can now taste the meal after it already dropped. And that's the sad part. If you had done this beforehand, it would have been received better. It would have been brought across your audience better. But you can't do that now. But it's okay. I can't help you with your initial release. I can't help you with how you tanked in the public eye. I can help you on the back end with smoothing it over to gamers. Because as I said, the casting of Frank Stone, how many of you gamers played that? How many of y'all knew until right now that was the prequel of Dead by Daylight? That's how we got there. How many of y'all knew that until you heard it right here, right now? And that's my point. Until Dawn is the prequel that leads into the game we played. And you did not know that until right now when I told you. You came to the channel, I'm going to give it to you plain, say it straight. Not sponsored, not paid for. My viewpoint is not bullshit to you. It's from gamers, by gamers, for gamers, by movie patrons, by cinephiles, to cinephiles, and movie patrons. And this game that spawned this movie, they did it backwards in the wrong way. And their biggest problem was how it was perceived. And that is where you lost 85% of your audience. If you had put Before Dawn The Hourglass. Now that I think about it, Hourglass, Nightmare Creature came with Hourglass. That's a lot better because a lot of people will be like, "What? You seen that movie Hourglass? What's that about?" And a lot of people would have been intrigued over the premise of Hourglass, and then a lot of people have been watching it and be like, "Yo, ain't this I seen this before. I seen something like this before. Isn't this like Until Dawn?" And then at the end, when you do the reveal of the cabin and the snow and everything, they'd be like, "Yo, this is like the prequel to Until Dawn." It would have been a great surprise pull-off. Another movie franchise did this, and they almost pulled it off correctly, but the sequel tanked it. And I hate to say that, but that's the Joker movie. The first movie shouldn't have been called Joker. It should have been called Arthur Fleck. Because a lot of people would have been like, "What the hell is Arthur Fleck?" And word of mouth, a whispering campaign, would have led people to your movie and be like, "Oh, he's the Joker. Oh, that's genius." But instead, you just called it Joker, and people went to watch it, and they're like, "This ain't the Joker. That's not the Joker. This is not the Joker. This ain't the Joker." And then you leaned into your own animosity and made part 2, Folie Deux, a sequel with singing and Lady Gaga in the whole court proceedings, only to find out that he wasn't the Joker. So you made a Joker movie about a character who's not the character, but you're going to use the name. Once again, marketed completely wrong. You wanted people to watch your movie because they're DC fans. They know who the Joker is. That's the audience you want to touch. That's that big buckets of money. But you marketed it wrong. Until Dawn did the same thing. If you would have let your patrons know from the door it was a prequel into the series that you played, it would have been received so much better. It might have had the potential to be probably one of the biggest video game to movie adaptations done correctly. You would have actually stood in that contention. And right now you do stand in that contention with me. But I'm nobody. I'm 24K. I'm here. I'm a gamer, just an ordinary gamer, living in a gamer world, bringing it to you. And I can try to do damage control. I can try to get to my gamer patrons and gamer friends and people that game and be like, "Yo, this is the prequel to that Until Dawn game you played. You might want to check it out. Like, it's actually really good." If you go into it thinking it's a prequel, but that's not how they marketed it. That's the problem. And you can't undo damage control. You can't hold back the flood once the dam has been broke. And the dam has been broke. It's already out. It already came out, and nobody's talking about it. And they really should be. And that's the sadness in this, is that it had potential to be so good. And in my opinion, it is really good. It's a lot better than a lot video game to movie adaptations if you look at it from a prequel standpoint. But unfortunately, nobody's going to give it any light, and nobody's going to be interested into a sequel unless they listen to my one small review. And unfortunately, maybe a couple hundred, maybe a couple thousand people will get it, and hopefully word of mouth will catch on and people will get that this was the prequel to that great game you played. And then maybe it'll have more life, because as it stands right now, it has no legs to run. So I did like the way they executed the premise in the movie. There was a lot of blood, a lot of viscera, a lot of weird, funny scenes. Like, I'll give you one example. They're locked all in a room because they know they're all being killed different ways, different times. And they're all in the bathroom locked in. And my man is like, "Yo, I need something to drink." And he starts drinking water from the sink. And then the Asian girl's like, "Wait a minute, the water don't work." So I'm like, right there, you're poison. You're poison. So as he drinks the water, instead of her being like, "No, it didn't work. We shouldn't do that. That's weird." It's kind of like Final Destination. You got to look for death's pattern and how death is going to come at you. Unfortunately, they didn't have a William Bretworth. Rest in peace, Tony Todd. Brother. Oh my God. I ain't over it. Ain't over it. But in the premise of Until Dawn, it was like a Final Destination thing. And you should have damn sure known that drinking from water that did not exist before, that exists now, was going to end you. So the funny part is he takes a cup of water, who else wants to drink, and passes it around to everybody, and everybody starts drinking, and then people start exploding and popping like popcorn in the microwave, and it was hilarious to me because I'm like, y'all should have seen that coming. Like, you literally was almost there. Look, I know you was thirsty. I feel you. But in a situation like this, you gotta find out how death is gonna come at you. It came at you as the masked dude, the Wendigo, there was lore on werewolves, there was the witch lady, there's all kind of shit coming at you, and you like, nobody was thirsty until there's one moment when you in the bathroom. And I know bathroom water tastes really good. I'm there with you. I feel it. I can't tell you how many times I've been in the bathroom and drank from the sink or from the faucet in the tub, and the water is just ice cold and tasty. I don't know why bathroom water tastes so good, but that's the sin. That's the sin in the movie, is that bathroom water tastes so good, it's gotta be bad for you. It's gotta kill you somehow. And the way he was drinking it, I was like, I know that taste. I know that bathroom water taste. That shit is good. It's refreshing. I don't know why it's colder than any tap in the house, but it is. If you don't know, experiment today. Go upstairs or downstairs or in the back room, wherever your bathroom is, turn that water on cold. Wait a few seconds, get a glass, because plastic ain't gonna help you. You can't taste it in plastic. It's gotta be glass. Put a glass under there, and when it's ice cold, drink some of it. You're gonna be like, that is like the tastiest water I've ever tasted in my life. Like Dasani, Clear, Poland Spring, Deer Park. Y'all ain't got nothing on that bathroom water, man. That bathroom sink water. Yo, so from the moment they started drinking it, I'm like, yeah, I know that water. That water is the bomb. I know that water. And it's funny because as soon as I said it in my head, yo, that water is the bomb. Boom! I'm like, and I started laughing because I'm like, that shit is ironic. That bathroom water is the bomb and they blew up. It was a little joke that hit me real hard. And I just put my head down and just started snickering. I didn't say anything. I didn't say it loud. It just hit me that way because I'm just like, yo, bathroom water is the bomb. And coincidentally, they blew up from it. So it's just funny as hell to me. But the story itself leaves us with literally nobody really dying. And I'm kind of angry because all the deaths we got were all faked. And the best deaths in the movie were on a cell phone recorded in a highlight reel that we got, the montage. I kind of wish we had been in those scenes to see that happen. And then there was a big tease of when they were trying to drive out, and there was this huge Cloverfield creature, and nothing became of it. Nothing became of it. Didn't use it again. It wasn't there in the climax, and it kind of took me out of it because
I think it was only there to keep them in.
No, if they would have went forward, it would have killed them.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But they never use it again. You don't have a creature the size of Cloverfield in your movie and not use it. You don't just show it and then not use it. The dude with the mask you used so many times. You showed a picture of a werewolf. You alluded to a werewolf. You never showed the werewolf. You used the Wendigos maybe once or twice. In the game, they could stick to walls and climb over the ceiling, and they move like clockwork, which made it scared and glitchy. But in the movie, they were just zombies running after them. So when you have a 300-foot creature in the mist, in the fog, you use it. You don't just show it in 3 seconds of a clip of them looking through the windshield and then backing up and it's never there before. Never there again. Never seen. Never explained. Never even alluded to what it was. They let us know everything else that they were being killed by, what it was, where it came from, and how it influences the storyline. Yet that big gigantic creature, we don't know what it's about. Are we in the Mist universe? Was it part of the Mist? Was it one of the creatures from the Mist? We don't know. They don't tell us because they showed it for 3 seconds and it never alluded to it again. And I'm kind of angry about that. That's my drawback. I was looking for my drawback for this movie. That's my biggest drawback. Because it was one of the coolest scenes when they drove and you seen it through the windshield of the car and it was so huge and monstrous, and then they just back up and you don't see it again. no talked about. It doesn't take anybody out. And I'm like, clearly you don't have a problem with showing these deaths, but some of the best deaths you just alluded to, put on a cell phone, or somebody gets drugged into the darkness and nothing. You hear the sound, but nothing's there. We don't see, we don't know. And I'm not being a nitpicker when it comes to that, because I'm giving your film props. As a prequel to Until Dawn, bravo. As Until Dawn, the movie, not so much. And that's where we have our problem. But what am I going to give you as a score here on 24K? Well, the game, platinum. Platinum. Platinum story, platinum cast, platinum storyline. I done played through it. I done got almost everybody killed. Sorry. Mike, I'm sorry. Mike, take the picture. Mike, take the picture. I'm sorry, Mike. I fought for you the entire story long. I was you. You were me. We were we. Me and you, we were like this, bro. We was one. I got you to the end of the game. Hour after hour after hour after hour. I can't tell you how many hours I struggled with the little prompts to keep you in one place. The quick shots when the Wendigos come out and they moving all around and you can't shoot because the way they moving, and they give you 3 seconds and it counts down, and if you miss the shot, you done, you over with. I kept you alive, Mike, through all of that, through the sanatorium, through the woods, from the window to the walls, to the blood drop down and fall. All them creatures crawl. Oh, ski. Mike, I'm sorry. The last seconds of the game, I lost you in. That's rough. And the really sad part is the person who played the movie, they all got to live. They all made the right choices at the right times, and they all lived. I kind of wish when they were hiding behind doors and behind like pallets and stuff like that, you had put some kind of marker in there that was red, because that was in the game. Like, you couldn't move, like this little dot just kept moving back and forth, and you had to keep moving it with your controller and keep it in the circle. And if it went outside the circle before that little thing ended, you was just done. You was just done. Oh, wait a minute. The black dude got to live too, because he dipped off towards the end, and I never saw him for the rest of the end of the game. And then at the end, he showed up outside the house. So the black dude lived too. So wait a minute. I have an extra dude. I'm sorry it wasn't you, Mike. It could have been you. I would have preferred you over that dude who was literally just being played out the entire game. He saw his girl cheat on him. That's why she was able to die in the game, because she had cheated on you, played you out, and I had your back, bruh. I had your back. I had a chance to let her live, but what she did to you was dirty. She drugged you up to a mountain cabin under the false pretenses of being your girlfriend. And then you was like, I'm suspected. Yo, your ex is up here. Why are your ex up here with us? Like, your ex ain't supposed to be here. Then you look through the binoculars, you saw them kissing and hugging, and you still ain't say nothing. I gave you all the prompts of making you angry and making you upset and bringing confrontation and nothing. And she still called you names and treated you horribly and treated you like a cuck. And I was so angry. So when it got to that moment where I could have saved her or let her go, I let her go for you, bro. For you. And Mike still died. That's the sad part. Mike still died. Mike is gone. Mike is out of here. So the game is platinum, triple platinum. The movie series, as a cinephile, great movie. I give it a gold. Can't give it a platinum. Want to give it a platinum. Can't give it a platinum. I just explained why. For the last 30 minutes, I just explained why. As a gaming prequel movie, platinum. Like what I did there? As a prequel to the game, platinum. 100% platinum. But as you marketed it, as you put it out, as you showed it, I can only give you a gold because the execution is everything. And you blew that. That is a big strike off. But as a gaming prequel movie, excellent. See, I'll give you your props. I'll give you your props. And I like you using Peter Stormare in it because he's the link that holds both the game and the movie together. But if you would have let people know it was a prequel to your game that you played, this would have gone so much better. But as it stands, I can't help you. I can only do damage control and bring people to a cult following of your movie. So now I will spread the word. I'll use my face, my mouth, my experience as a gamer, by gamers, to gamers, in my videos. I will talk about it for you. I can help you get to cult status, cult classic status. Because I'll tell you, there's another movie that came out that got so much negative publicity and so much hatred. When I saw it, I was expecting to hate it, and I absolutely loved it. Resident Evil, Welcome to Raccoon City. And there's no coincidence that I had just played Resident Evil 2, the remake, when I watched Welcome to Raccoon City. And I absolutely loved it. Leon casting aside, Claire casting aside, I absolutely loved it. When you went into that orphanage and you had like the heart key and the diamond key and all that stuff, when I saw the way you pulled off the Raccoon Police Department, the guy in the cell, everything verbatim was directly out of Resident Evil 2, and I was there for it. It was an amazing experience. And then they was like, oh, well, we're gonna add you the unedited edition. This is the thing, this is blah 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 blah. And I saw the unedited edition and I loved it even more. And all my gamer peoples that love Resident Evil and play Resident Evil, I put them on. Resident Evil Raccoon City is probably the best Resident Evil adaptation to this day I've ever seen in my life. And that includes the animations. I can literally pause a lot of the scenes in Resident Evil movie Welcome to Raccoon City and take the game and put them side by side, and verbatim they are the exact same scenes, pictures, and sometimes even action. Yet it received no praise. It received no admiration. It received no love. Why? Because of the Milo Jovovich's 9-part series that came out, which I'm only going to say I liked part 1 more than anything. After that, y'all became something completely different. And I don't know, the Resident Evil name should not have been attached to that at that point. Y'all went too far. You went too far and you ruined what was supposedly good. But the first one I will give you, Resident Evil 1, was pretty good. Not better than Welcome to Raccoon City. That's what I'm saying. Welcome to Raccoon City. If you get the chance, you know what? I am going to do a review of it. I think I did a review. I'm not sure if I did a review. I might have to do a revisit. But that's the other movie that, like I said, like Until Dawn, that was marketed wrong. But it could have been phenomenal for you guys. It's just sad. So let's take the gold and the platinum and mix it together, and somewhere in between there, you got a great experience. Like it, rent it, download it, buy it on Blu-ray if Blu-ray still exists, digitally get it, watch it on stream if you can, when it is. But it's worth it to experience it if you are a fan of the game franchise, or if you're a fan of a great horror movie. Just watch it. It's better than a lot of horror movies that came out. Really good. I'm surprising how great I actually thought it was. So until next time, it's your boy the Game Ninja. Check you guys out. Until Dawn, now you know, is a prequel to the Until Dawn video game. You also learned in this episode the casting of Frank Stone is the prequel to Dead by Daylight. You also learn Welcome to Raccoon City, Resident Evil. Another underrated, great adaptation that you probably never saw because of all the negative publicity it got. Give it a chance, watch it. Guarantee you'll feel the same way. From the Game Dojo, it's your boy Rain. 24K movies, TV shows, and video game reviews. Thank you for all the love you show on my channel. Shout out to Argentina, all my Argentinian fans. I love y'all. Thank you so much for that video you supported up through the highest. I'm gonna look for some more imports for y'all from your country. I'm definitely gonna look for more. You guys got some great content. Thank you for all the love you shown my little channel and my videos. Argentina, I love you. See you guys later. Next one.